Welcome to Baby Hustler's first saddling and also my first time saddling a horse for the first time. Hustler is a May 2020 baby and she is about a year and a half, just over a year and a half old at this point. I'd like to prefix this video by stating that I have absolutely no intentions of riding her at this point or putting weight on her back. We've been doing a lot of groundwork. She's been doing really well. She seems like a horse who wants to learn to do things, so I simply just decided to switch things up for the day and just see how she would take it. This is also the first time I've introduced anything onto her back, including the saddle pad. She has had a blanket on in the winter time. As you can see, she doesn't really seem to care, which I didn't think she would, which is why I am here doing this. I'm not doing this while she's tied up simply because I had her out in the arena, I wanted her to have room to move freely, and I just didn't want her to feel stuck. She's not reacting to me throwing the saddle pad on her in any way, so I decided just to take her for a little walk, let her get kind of a feel for it, having it on her back, moving around, stuff like that. Since she seemed to give no mind to that, I decided to go ahead and introduce the saddle to her. This is an extremely light barrel saddle that I have. This is actually not one that I'm riding any current horses in, which I thought would kind of make it perfect for this. Now I do want to be somewhat gentle with her, however I also do want to throw it on her with confidence. I don't want to scare her, I don't want her to be scared, but also I do want to throw it up there with some meaning. Just gonna let her check it out and give her all the love and praises. I'm gonna move it around a little bit, kind of play with it on her back, and go ahead and do it again. You can see her licking her lips there, and the nice thing about this is not only can you see my confidence level go up, you can also see how this would start to build a bond and a trust between us. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it off and do the same thing on the other side. I'm in absolutely no rush doing this, so she wants to stop and check it out. I let her do that, and then I'm going to go ahead and swing it up and over her. Now I am swinging it away over her where I am showing confidence. I don't want her to be fearful of it. I want her to get used to the thudding of the saddle coming over her, but what I'm not doing is just throwing all of the weight of the saddle onto her. So I kind of toss it over, let it flop, and then place it down and onto her back. Again, I'm just kind of playing with it here, but also I'm just making sure that that saddle pad is not pushing down on her withers because I want her to be as comfortable as possible, especially for her first time. And we always do the same thing that we do on the left as we do on the right, so I'm going to go ahead and walk her out again. Right here, I thought about heading back to the dummy and then decided to do one more lap, and I think I was just trying to psych myself up for what was about to come. Now I'm going to go ahead and get her ready to cinch her up for the first time. And as you can see, she's a little bit more curious about what I'm doing on this side. I am adjusting the cinch because it is a little bit too long, so I'm just shortening it. And she's just licking her lips again. And again, this is why I let them move around. I don't want her to feel stuck. I don't want her to feel scared or anything like that. So I just let her go until she finds a spot to settle and just kind of ignore what she's doing. Also, babies' attention spans are very short, so I don't have the same expectations for her as I would for one of my adult horses. Here I'm just bringing her kind of back over to where we started. I just want her to get away from that fence a little bit and have a little bit more room to move around. And now for the moment of truth. Disclaimer, as part of her groundwork, I have had ropes and stuff cinched around her. She's just never had anything attached to her back at the same time. I feel like cinching them up for the first time is one of those things where you kind of got one shot at it. You don't want it to be loose because you don't want the saddle to roll, but you don't want to do it so tight right away that it's uncomfortable. So I'm literally just about to go for it. And there we have it. She is officially cinched up and didn't even give a care. So now I'm going to go ahead and walk her out and tighten it up just a little bit more in a second. And like everything else, we're going to go ahead and do it both ways. She handled that very, very well, so I go ahead and cinch her up just one more hole. I just want to make sure that it's snug and secure and that she's actually getting cinched up for the first time. Time to go for another little walkie walk. I decided that since she was doing so well that I would go ahead and try one more thing and go ahead and go through all of her groundwork that we've been working on while she was under saddle. And don't mind me, my brain was just having a little bit of a moment here. this is not what we practiced at all. But I am not perfect and I am still learning. I'm just trying to block her eye and get her to move her shoulder over. However, I was so excited about her being saddled that I kind of just, I don't know. And I finally get her to do it, so I decided to stop and reward her before I turned any good habits into bad habits. And even though I started in the other direction, I wasn't happy with how it went, so I decided to give it one more try because I'd really like her to cross over on the front end, kind of like she did right here. And again, I decided to quit while I was ahead. And this is where I decided to end things, and I think you can tell by the look on my face exactly how I felt about that. Felt pretty good.